Hey guys, how's it going? Onach here, and welcome to a 100% race distance race. And we are at Silverstone, which is my favorite circuit, and we are getting in my Mercedes. So, someone in the comments, I cannot remember your name, sorry, as we have 40% chance of rain, by the way. Someone told me in the comments on the last league race video that I should do a full, race distance race. On Silverstone as Lewis Hamilton. So here we are then, that is the strategy, but with 48% chance of rain, I'm not sure if we are going to have a dry race, completely dry race. It is dry at the moment, but obviously this race will be against the AI, so against the computer, so no online racing. But I do start from the back of the grid to make things a little bit more exciting. I think everyone is currently on the option tires, which is the medium one, and I'm on the prime tire, which should be the hard one. Yep, there we go, hard tire for me. So you have super soft, soft, medium and hard. So there we go then, Van der Garde alongside me. The lights are coming on then for the first lap out of 52 laps. The lights are out and away we go. So started from the last place on the grid, already looking like I'm going to overtake Van der Garde. I'm already in front of him, but he comes back somehow. But I'm saving my course for the next straight, which is Wellington Straight, I think. So braking for this corner, then going around the outside of a lot of cars. This is why I don't really like racing against the AI drivers. They are very, very slow in the first couple of corners on the first lap, and we are already up to P11. Suter goes a little bit slow in front, had to correct the car there a little bit. But at the end of the day, we overtook him, and now having a nice toe on Hulkenberg, going on the inside, braking very late for this corner, taking actually a lot of cars on the inside there. No contact though. And around the outside of Perez, I think it was. Yep, it's Perez. Oh, as he moves a little bit over there, forces me to go wide a little bit. Almost squeezed me off the track, and now going on the inside of Perez. And this should be quite an easy pass. He comes over a little bit to the right. Oh, not a lot of room, but still got past without any contact, so that is fair. Moved me up to P6 already after a couple of laps in the first lap, after a couple of corners in the first lap, excuse me. The rest are just behind me, and there is a Ferrari in front of me at the moment. So let's see the gap. The gap is just over a second, and just over a second as well to the car behind us. So you can see on the minimap there's one car out in front, and that is Vettel at the moment, I think. And oh, sorry, Massa gave him a little bit of a tap there. It was very slow coming out of that corner. Didn't expect that, so I gave him a little bit of a tap. Sorry about that. Remember, I am on the prime tire, and all the other cars are on the option tires at the moment. So I have a nice toe on Felipe right now, coming to the first corner, which is not full throttle at the moment. Let's go a little bit wider onto the grass, and overtaking Felipe there quite easily. He had a very poor exit out of that first corner. P5 then, Red Bull next up. Mark Webber using around half of my course for this first straight, Wellington Straight I think it is. Using mix free as well, getting a nice good toe on him. I'm going for the outside here for the next corner. Will I take him? Yeah, fairly easy. Actually, around the outside as well. He braked very early, so yeah, that was easy. Just outbraking him. Moves me up into P4, and we have sight on the podium positions already. After 2 laps, it is Nico Rosberg in front, my teammate. I think in front of him is a Ferrari, so that must be Alonso. And as I said, in front of him must be Vettel. Getting a little bit of a feel for the car, obviously heavy fuel, as it understeers quite a bit through this Maggots, Baggets and Chapel section. Great section, as I have lots of cars remaining. Having a good toe on Rosberg, slipstreaming him, going on the inside, and this should be an easy pass as well. There we go, outbraking him, and another very easy pass. So behind Alonso now. In this slipstream, going to have a little bit of a look on his inside. No, doesn't make him nervous, so we will stick behind him. Not going to dive bomb on his inside. Obviously, you do have to race fair to the AI as well. On the inside for the first corner for Alonso here, side by side coming to the first corner, taking him there, but that was very close racing, definitely. No contact, I think, though. Not sure, but I don't think so. Definitely close racing. Good job from Alonso there, trying it around my outside, trying to keep his position around my outside. but he backed out of it. So already in P2 then, and Vettel has quite a big gap to us in front, as Alonso has DRS on us, I think, but he is too far back. He is 6 tenths back, cannot do an attack on us at the moment. 3.86 to Vettel, so indeed Vettel managed to put quite a bit of a gap, just like real life basically. Obviously Vettel has been dominating the 2013 season. So this is a very long race. So you know, we might I might have to come up with a few subjects, as I cut the corner a little bit there. I might have to come up with a few subjects where I can talk about. So maybe Formula 1 then in real life is something to talk about this video. Lap 3 at the moment, and then chasing down Vettel. Remember, it was like 3.8 before, and it is now 2.7. So I already gained 1 second in the middle sector. Middle sector is a great sector on this track, but I think I will come later on to that in this race, because well, let's talk a little bit about the real, you know, Formula 1. Last season, obviously, we had the domination of Sebastian Vettel, and this year, after the winter testing in Jerez, or Jerez, however you want to pronounce it, so the first lap of race 135.1. Obviously, first testing is over. It's looking very good at the moment for Mercedes. I think Ferrari is doing quite well as well, with Raikkonen and Alonso. Obviously, a great lineup for this year. What else do we have? Well, I think obviously the bad reliability from Red Bull Racing. Big problems with the engine, I think it was, the Renault engine. So there were some people saying that they are going to be, you know, slow, and their reliability is a really big problem. But I don't think that it's going to be a real problem for the season. I mean, they have still another test coming up, I think at Bahrain, and then another test at Bahrain, I think. So there's still plenty of time left for them to sort their issues out, and I don't know, it's going to be a very interesting season, as I catch up to Vettel quite a bit now. It's going to be a very interesting season. We will see what's going to happen. I do have the DRS on Vettel though, so let's see what this move is going to be like. Can I overtake him? Yeah, very easy with the DRS on the inside. Having a look there if he was still along my outside or alongside me, but he wasn't, so quite an easy pass in the end of the day. And this should also be a fast lap of the race, because I was already purple, and now with the DRS advantage I should be even quicker than previous lap. 135.1 is current fast lap, and now it is a 34.6 on the prime tires. Forgot to say that the prime tires will last about 20 laps, at least that's how they are scheduled, so they should last 20 laps, but I can tell you already that I'm going to be struggling with that. Coming back on Red Bull then, I think they will sort out their issues, and yeah, hopefully for them they will have a good season. But to be honest, yeah, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think I'm going to watch Formula 1 this year. Maybe I'm going to watch GP2, not sure, but I might watch some races of Formula 1, because I cannot, you know, say goodbye to it forever or anything. But I'm not interested in Formula 1 anymore. In my opinion, Formula 1 has died, if you can call it like that. I know this might sound a little bit over the top, but in my opinion, Formula 1 with V6 turbo engines, it's not going to work, in my opinion. The noses are ugly. This is not how F1 should be, in my opinion. F1 should be with big screaming engines, and I think Formula 1 is a bit more about it is good that it focuses on itself on technology, but it is doing that a little bit too much, in my opinion. And with the you have ERS, I don't know if you even have curse, but I'm sure you have ERS, you have DRS, all these kind of stuff. I don't think that it takes a lot of skill anymore to drive a Formula 1 car. Don't get me wrong, I cannot drive a Formula 1 car as fast as they do and stuff like that, and I'm having a lot of respect for the drivers, but in my opinion, it seems like you needed a lot more skill in the past to drive a Formula 1 car. In my opinion, it was harder. Don't get me wrong, it is still hard. Obviously, the drivers have an exceptional talent. They are driving faster than me, than you probably, so don't get me wrong, huge respect for the driver, but I don't know, I think Formula 1 is heading into the wrong direction. So that's why I'm not, you know, really bothered with it anymore. Not very interested in it, basically. I'm a bit disappointed, if you can call it like that, but in my opinion this is not Formula 1 anymore. This is something different. The engine sound, it sounds a little bit like DTM or something like that. It doesn't sound like Formula 1, and it doesn't sound like, you know, the way F1 should be, if you ask me. But enough talking about that. I'm sure everyone has their own opinion, and I will respect your opinion if you have a different one than mine, because that's fine, obviously. But yeah, as I said before, in my opinion this is not what F1 should be like, so I'm not really interested in it. Captain Vettel is 4 seconds already. I think we overtook him on lap 4 or 3, cannot really remember, but Vettel has a gap of 6 seconds to Alonso, so Alonso definitely cannot keep up with Vettel at the moment, as we are still doing 34 5s, so very consistent times there. There we go, the engineer telling it's about 3 seconds a lap, so obviously a lot of time. And yeah, it's quite boring, isn't it, to see the you know, race against the AI cars. It will be a little bit more fun later on in the video, when there are a few AI cars that I'm going to have to lap, because they are pretty stupid with blue flags, but you will see that later on in the video as I do purple. Talking a bit about Formula 1, then the game you're watching right now. First of all, I have to say that I'm sorry, so my apologies. I apologize for the fact that I said that I would be doing career mode, and I haven't done that up until this point. The reason for that is basically the reason you're watching now, because I think it's very boring. I know that when you're driving in a Rouge or Caterham it becomes much more challenging to finish at the front. But still, in my opinion, I don't think that racing against the AI cars is from a great quality or anything like that. I don't think it's good quality racing. Not as good as... Well, it's basically... I don't like it. I do like racing, don't get me wrong, but I do not like to upload it on my channel because I don't think it is quality content, if you get my drift. It's not something which I would like to show you guys, basically. I think league races are much more interesting, and racing against the AI, you can do that for yourself, you know. There's nothing really that special about it. You can race against the AI for yourself. League races though, especially with such a high level at Apex Online Racing, the league where I race in, it's a much different story. You know, much more different compared to the AI racing. So that's why I haven't uploaded career. Very sorry for that. I know I said I would do it, but I changed my mind, basically. So again, apologize for that. But I thought that uploading this 100% race would be then, you know, a little bit compensation of that. I've also seen someone who asked me to upload a 100% race distance race around Suzuka. I think it was Jarvis Racing 01, something like that. Well, I'm going to upload then another 100% race distance race if this video gets a good response. So that might be coming up in the next couple of weeks on the channel then as well, because I will do that 100% race then in preparation for my Suzuka League race as well, which should be in about 3 or 2 weeks. So there we go. 11 seconds to Vettel for 9 laps already. Big gap. Very big gap. So to keep this video entertaining, we have to think about a few subjects, don't we? Let's do another fast lap of the race, 34.0, improving it. Well, different subject then. Talk about Silverstone. I know I said it before, this is my favorite track, but why is it my favorite track? Well, you obviously have the, as we skipped to lap 13, and as you can see as well, I'm going to lap a few cars, so enjoy it. But Silverstone, you have the old layout and the new layout. Now, I don't really have a personal preference. I mean, I have driven on the old layout and the new layout. I don't really prefer one over each other. The old layout has its own, you know, advantages, and the new layout has its own advantages, if you ask me. well, basically talking about the current layout, then I think Silverstone is just a piece of Formula 1, basically their history as well. It's a great track. It's high speed, apart from the first sector, where you have this arena section, which is quite slow. But the rest of the track is great, and especially these corners, which are coming up right now. Cops corner over here. These corners, in my opinion, make Silverstone a very special track, and I can drive on the. I can drive here whenever I want for how long I want, basically. I did a 100% race this race, but I could do 200% if I wanted to, because I'm enjoying this track so much, especially that middle sector. Maggots, Baggots, Chapel, Cops corner, Hanger Straight, this corner as well, Stowe corner. I don't know, it's something special. I like the way you have to throw it in. This corner though, which we are in right now in the final sector, this is something I don't like actually, that corner, which is in my opinion the only bad thing about Silverstone. It's that final, final corner. But the rest of it is quite good though. This corner as well, you can sometimes brake very late and then do a little bit of trial braking into it, so the back end steps out on you when you turn in, which is quite fun as well. But it's especially the middle sector which makes it amazing. You throw it in there at such high speeds, and I'm a person who really likes high speed corners, so I'm much better at them as well usually. These corner combinations are great as well, especially for racing. You can take different lines into it when battling with another car. It's just very enjoying. So it went very wide. I had to back out of the throttle. Speak there wanted to pick up a little bit of a slipstream, and he moved over a little bit to the left then. He didn't really knew what he was doing. It's with yellow flags in sector 3, but I don't think there's something really big happening there. 23 seconds to Vettel. And indeed green flags in sector 3 as the engineer is telling. So about 25 seconds to Vettel. There we go, light rain in 15 minutes, as the tire wear started to come up a little bit now. And you can feel it as well after shift down to third gear for that Stowe corner, which is normally not the thing you want. It's basically the left front, which is wearing out quite a lot. Still doing quite consistent lap times, 34.5. So there's not a big drop off point at the moment in time. Although there's a little bit more understeer as well in that first corner. I don't know if you saw it. And look on the minimap, there's a big train of cars in front of me, which I still have to lap. I think we have lapped Vandegaard, Bianchi and Pick. So in front it must be Chilton then, I presume. Yes indeed, that left front is looking quite bad at the moment. Still have to do 5 laps on these prime tires, but since the engineer told me it was going to rain in 50 minutes, we might as well go into the pits a little bit earlier. Well, you can calculate for yourself. 15 minutes, that should mean that the rain will come in about, well, 10 to 12 laps, I would say. So, we can pit right now for another fresh of prime tires and then do another 15 laps on them, and then they should be good. And then we can pit again when the rain falls. So that was indeed Max Sheldon lapping him there. This is so fun driving here, trust me. It's great fun. So skipping a little bit later than lap 16, 27-second lead to Sebastian Vettel. 34.6, so another quite a consistent lap time once again. You can see as well the rubber line on the track. You want to stick to the rubber line as much as you can basically. Although sometimes the rubber line is a little bit on a weird place. Let's call it like that, because normally it is a little bit more on the left basically, or a little bit more on the right than the line I would normally take. So I'm not always following it. As you can see here, I'm usually a little bit further from the apex there to get a little bit early on the throttle, as I have a big moment of oversteer there as well. So not always following it, but I think it definitely gives you an advantage. Touching the grass a little bit there. Shifting down to 6th gear for that Cops corner. And here again Maggots and Baggots. And going through Chapel, it's great. I can drive on that for 200 laps and still not get bored. Lap 16 then, tire wear is looking quite bad. I think we should pit this lap. Let's see if I pit this lap or whether I continue for another lap. No, I pit this lap. Okay, there we go then. As you can see on the minimap, there's quite a bit of a train as well in front of me with the lapping cars which I should lap. So I thought it was better to go into the pits and save myself some time, because obviously when you lap AI cars it can cost you a little bit of time. So making quite an early pit stop then on these prime tires, having a lead of half a minute to Vettel, and going for another set of prime tires, because I think it should rain at about let's say in lap 30, 28 maybe. So we should be good for when the rain comes out. There are also coming a few clouds in, so it might be quite interesting to see the change from dry track to a wet track. Lap 17, and you can see that these tires are very grippy. You can feel it straight away in the wheel. As a driver you really feel it when you are on new tires, even though they aren't warmed up completely. Engineers telling that Massa is in the pits, who is in third, so they were on the option tires and pitting right now as well. So coming on to another subject then, my tire wear. Basically my tire wear is also quite a, it's a bit of a disadvantage, if you could call it like that. It's not my strongest point, that's it. It's not my strongest point, as it turned in too early there, too much grip, more than I expected. My tire wear, I think a lot of you guys will know that I'm always struggling with tire wear. Oh, the engineer telling me that it will take another 15 minutes, so they have delayed it. Surprising. We'll see what's going to happen. But again, tire wear, I'm always struggling with it for some reason. It looks like I'm struggling with it more than other persons. Now I don't really know the reason for that, to be honest. I think it obviously comes down to driving style. Let's face it like that. Just be honest, it definitely comes down to driving style. I have, in my opinion, I have quite an ugly driving style. Because it's really aggressive. It's not smooth at all, if you ask me. Getting early on the throttle, generating some wheel spin is what I normally do as well. And just generally my turn in is quite aggressive, and it basically asks a lot from the tires in terms of performance. It puts a lot of stress in them, as we obviously do a purple first sector because we are on new fresh tires. Excuse me, but I think when you hear my story, you basically want to say that maybe you should change your driving style, in order to save the tires a bit more, be more smooth and gentle on the throttle with your steering inputs, and that obviously sounds very very basic and stuff like that. It makes sense, but for some reason I cannot drive bits more smooth, because I'm really enjoying it when I drive aggressive. That's just my nature, I guess. And driving slow, first of all, I'm not enjoying it. In my opinion, it doesn't feel good to me, and if it doesn't feel good, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I have tried it, don't get me wrong, I've tried it. After we do a 32.2, I have tried it, but never found really the point which made sense to me. And what's it called? I'm searching for the word. Hang on. It never was. What's it called? I forgot it. It doesn't bring me the advantage I would like to. It's not worth it. That's it. It's not worth it for me, in my opinion. When I drive, with a different driving style, I make more mistakes. I'll become less concentrated. So it's not really an option for me, which is quite hard. But hey, you then have got to deal with it, I guess. So I think I'm trying to do another very quick lap. great corner section here. As I've said before, I think I'm going to do another fastest lap. Am I? Yes, I'm up. Only 500 of a second though, but we are purple. See if we can improve that 132.279, which is standing at the moment. Bit wide there, you want to get a little bit closer to the apex. Just brake at the 100 meter bar just a little bit before that, get it turn in. That as well there, you saw that turning to the left, I think that was quite aggressive. Puts a lot of stress and a lot of heat into the tires. As we do indeed improve that fastest lap time by about a 10th. And I think a McLaren is in front. Yes, that looks like a McLaren. It looks like Prix. There we go. He is in 13th place right now, so we are lapping car number 13, or well, not the number, but he's in position 13. As we pick up the DRS from him, so thanks a lot. It's going to help me. Skipping to lap 20, quite a few laps, and actually beginning of lap 21, ending of lap 20. And now it's 10 minutes, so that should mean about 8 laps, something like that. 7-8 laps. So the rain is coming, definitely. It also looks a little bit more cloudy. And starting lap 21 then. Maybe another subject to talk about is the cockpit cam, maybe instead of the T-cam. The reason why I go with cockpit cam is because it for me gives a lot more realism. It's much more fun to drive. I mean, I think it's pretty weird to drive with T-cam because you're basically sitting on the car. I don't think that when you're going to drive a Formula 1 car in real life, as I went into the gravel there a little bit, got quite a bit of an understeer, just got in the gravel. I think when you go to drive a real Formula 1 car, or a Formula 1 car in real life rather, you're not going to sit on it either, do you? I don't think so. So that's why I go with cockpit as well. Just adds a bit more realism, and I like the realism. I'm more a simulation guy rather than a arcade guy, you know. That's it basically. I like the realism, and that's it. So that's why I go with cockpit. I do know a few people who are switching to cockpit as well, and they said they don't do it because they feel like they are slow. Now at the beginning, when I switched from T-cam to cockpit, because I have played T-cam in the past, but that was I think with F1 2010. When I changed from the T-cam to cockpit cam, it was obviously a big difference for me as well, but you just have to get used to it. Did I just see a raindrop? Yep, raindrops are falling, and it's lap 22. While the engineer told us that it was going to rain, well, lap 23, 27 maybe. But there are already a few raindrops falling. Coming back to the cockpit cam, well, switched from the T-cam to cockpit cam. It obviously took a little bit of time to get used to it, and yes, I was actually slower as well in the beginning, but it didn't stop me from practicing. I mean, obviously when you practice you become better and better. Some people seem to forget that sometimes. They want to be quick, you know, in an instant, but you have to give it time. Definitely, you cannot expect from yourself to be quick right out of the box. You have to practice for it, which is very important. Otherwise you will not become, you know, a quick driver. Take me as an example. I've been playing racing games since I was quite young, and every time you play a racing game you pick up points. You pick up a few things which you take with you once you grow up, if you could call it like that. Once you get a little bit further in time. As whoa, Bianchi there. It was quite close at high speed as well. It was on the right hand side. Was catching up some slipstream, and then he suddenly moved over to the left when I was moved to the left as well. Luckily that ended up, that ended up good. Well, so basically it wasn't a path of roses for me either when I changed to cockpit cam, but you cannot give up and try to improve yourself every time. It's important, and you know, as I got on the curb there and locked the wheel instantly. Well, basically there are some people who still think that T-Cam is faster, and I have to agree with them actually. I am trying T-Cam sometimes, because don't get me wrong, I'm not always driving in cockpit. Well, usually I am driving in cockpit mode, but sometimes for fun I do like 1 or 2 laps with T-Cam, not in league races, but just, you know, in the practice, just for fun. I sometimes drive with the T-Cam then, and a good example is Singapore. My personal best on Singapore with cockpit cam was a 36.8. I did 2 laps with the T-Cam and I did a 36.6, so that is 2/10 quicker after just 2 laps already. So I definitely think that the T-Cam has an advantage over the cockpit cam, because with the T-Cam you can look into the corners a little bit better and stuff like that. You have a, as Justin described it as well, he described it as you have more spatial awareness, so you know better what's going on around you, which I have to agree with, because it's obviously true. You can see better into the apexes, as he said as well, you have more spatial awareness. As we come up to Vandergaard, whoa, moved over to the left as well. I don't know, that's so stupid with the AR cars. Once you get into the slipstream, they become a little bit nervous, it looks like it, and then they wobble a little bit around left and right, stuff like that. So get to lap 27, it looks like it's raining a little bit more. It has been dropping a few drops of rain. A few raindrops have dropped, that is what I should say. But it never really got serious until now. It's raining a little bit harder, spray coming off the tires. So pick up slipstream for the Resta, and as well you moved over to the right, so again, close. But yeah, I think T-Cam is faster, but for me it's not worth it. I think T-Cam just gives you an advantage with the spatial awareness, you know, when you have to, you know, a little bit better where you are in terms of positioning your car. But that's not a reason for me to switch to it, and I think it's quite disappointing that there are some people who are still driving with T-Cam while they can drive with cockpit cam as well. Maybe they prefer to be really quick instead of having fun, I'm not sure. That's Nico Rosberg in front, I think, my teammate. I don't know in what position he is in, but looks like I'm going to lap him. As we have a gap of 52 seconds, so I'm keeping, you know, extending the gap every lap to Vettel. Lap 31, so another few laps forward. 133.6, tires are starting to fall off quite a bit, and it is starting to rain harder and harder. And you will see that this lap as well, I get a little bit more understeer, and the grip is just, you know, starting to fall off a little bit. So it's me in first then, Vettel in second, Massa third, and Alonso in fourth. But Vettel is dominating over both Ferraris at the moment. And you can see here it's getting wetter and wetter, taking a different line now as well. So going wide and then turning into the apex, touching the apex, and then get back on the throttle, so you can have a good exit out of that, what's it called? Is it Lovefield? Brooklands? Not sure. The engineer is telling me as well it would be, you know, sensible to switch onto the Inter tires, but let's have a look at the grip levels through Meccas, Beckett and Chapel. It's not bad actually there. I turned in too early as well. Didn't expect to have still quite a bit of grip, but I had, as my gap to Vettel is over a minute. Don't know if he pitted for Inters already, maybe he did, not sure. No, well, probably not then. Still continuing another lap though. Maybe a bad choice, we will see when we approach lap 32, which is now 1:35.0. I think that's around the time, which is like a marker, 1:35.0, to switch to the Inter tires. Let's have a look. Yeah, and it's starting to struggle a bit more. A little bit of oversteer there as well on the exit. Yeah, definitely a little bit more wheel spin as well out of that exit. Left front looks quite worn, so we probably will pit this lap. It is a sensible decision, both in terms of tire wear and with the conditions at the moment. It's not looking that cloudy though, so I'm not expecting heavy rain this race. It's definitely not looking that dark in the clouds. 20 laps to go. Have to do some fuel saving as well. I'm on -1 at the moment, and indeed here you can see that there's much more understeer. Have to go back to 6th gear, but still here lots of grip, full throttle there. It is fantastic. It really is. It's so much fun. Full throttle there. 2.5 seconds down, so indeed a very slow lap. Well, not very slow, but definitely slower than you know, Optimal's grip. Let's have a bit of oversteer there as well. Raindrops coming onto the screen, and that is definitely a let's say proof to switch to the Inter tires. That's a proof that the Inter tires are probably the right tires for this for these conditions. Here we go. Pit stop by Mercedes. Let's see how it goes. Switching on to the Inter tires. 3.0. Good stop. And heading back out on track then. Lapping a Toro Rosso, I think it was, or a Red Bull. Was it a Red Bull? I think a Toro Rosso. Yeah, it probably is Toro Rosso, because I think Red Bull is a little bit more to the front of the pits. 1 minute and a half. My lead over Vettel when I rejoin the track. He was disabled, and as you see there, quite a bit of grip with these intermediate tires, so it definitely seems like the good, you know, choice. Sometimes I turn it too early, so I have to make a correction, which you have seen like two corners ago. I did that, and it is indeed intermediate conditions, no doubt about it. A little bit of a drift there, bit of power steering. Here again, bit of oversteer, touching the gravel there, got into it a little bit, got too excited there, but nothing too serious though. And obviously with a gap of 90 seconds, you can permit that, I think. Staying in 7th gear for that Cops corner, lots of grip on these intermediate tires. I'm not sure, but I think rain driving in this game is a little bit too easy, and if you ask me. There is no aqua planning. Most of the times it seems a little bit unrealistic, if you ask me, the amount of grip which is right now on the track. As you see here, I don't think that you can drive that quick in the rain. Basically, also I think the car is a bit more big mistake there. I think the car is a bit, you know, too much stable as well in rain conditions. But anyway, I have never driven a Formula 1 car in the rain, neither in the dry, obviously, so I cannot really judge on that. So I made a mistake there. Maybe you have seen my league race on Silverstone. I did the same mistake, which is locking up my tires when you know, touch the curb on the braking, which is also, I think, a little bit weird about this game. Not sure if it is like that in real life F1. But basically, when you sometimes touch a curb on the braking, it instantly locks your wheel, and you cannot do really much about it. So let's see my lap times then on these Inter tires, and let's compare them to my previous fastest lap on the, what's it called, on the Prime tires. 142.1 is currently the fastest lap. Probably not going to improve that, obviously, with these wet conditions, as there's a car in front of me. Who is that? I think it is Bianchi. Yeah, it is. Very dangerous driving there from Bianchi, that's for sure. That's what I mean, they become very nervous sometimes. And right now, who is in front? I think it's Bottas. And oh, lost my front wing there, gave a tap to him. Touched his back there. I think I don't know actually whose fault is that. Might have been my fault actually. Touched his back there, lost a little bit of my front wing, got lucky there that I didn't lose my entire wing, front wing. But definitely lost a bit of a piece, you know, lost a piece of my front wing, which is going to cost me a little bit of performance, doing a 34.4 in these conditions. Basically, when you lose a piece of your front wing, it costs you around 3 or 4 tenths, I think. Not more than that, I think. Behind pseudo now. As you can see, the AI here, it takes such weird lines. I don't know. I think Codemasters have to look into that, definitely, because it seems a bit weird, slowing down sometimes in the middle of a corner. Well, not really stopping, but definitely slowing down a bit. Seems a bit weird, doesn't it? 17 laps remaining. And the lead of 1 minute 10 to Vettel, so probably he already pitted for prime tire or intermediate tires, because remember the gap was 90 seconds at first, and now it is 70 seconds instead of 90, so that probably was because of the pit stop. So as I said, I can drive on this track for a long time. I don't mind doing a 200% race distance race here, although I'm not sure if my butt will like that. It might sound a bit weird, but obviously when you sit for such a long time in the chair, your back is going to hurt a little bit, your butt as well. Anyway, skipping to lap 36, we have a Ferrari in front, as well as a Marussia, it seems like. And again, what they're doing, I don't know. They left the gap on the middle there, and I just went straight through there. Didn't back out of the throttle, which was probably a bit dangerous, but there we go. That's another thing, you know. It's just weird, if you ask me, about the AI. So I lapped Massa then, so that basically means I have lapped the whole field except for Vettel. So Vettel is our target, trying to lap him as I do a high 33 in this race at this stage. So I think the intermediate tires should last for about 17 laps. I pitted on lap 32, I think it was, so you could try to do 20 laps on these intermediates, I think. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to switch to a new set of inter tires in lap 42. So you basically do 10 laps on both set of intermediate tires. And as well, they will change my front wing then, so it's going to help me getting a little bit more performance, a little bit more time out of the car, because it definitely generates a little bit of understeer, especially in that high speed section with Cobb's Corner and stuff like that. Lap 42 then, this is my pit stop lap, as I've said before. Doing high, well, mid 35s. And as well, at this point in the race, there's a little bit of a weird, yeah, I don't know how you could call it. There's a problem basically with G27 steering wheels. And it was happening to me this race. I think it is a quite common problem, not sure though. I use quite a bit of force feedback, and it seems like the problem occurs more when you use high force feedback. It's basically sometimes the wheel to turn straight into the game. In the game, you have to turn your wheel like 40 to 45 degrees to the right. At least that's what it was like this game, this race. I had to turn my wheel 40 to 45 degrees to the right in order to turn straight, which is getting quite annoying at some point. You can imagine that, I think, because when you're driving on this straight, hanger straight, I was right now turning to the right. Well, in game I'm turning straight, which is obviously a little bit weird, and it seems like it happens more often when you use high force feedback, and it happens when you go over curbs and you have a certain degree of angle on the wheel. Sometimes it happens then, and it happened to me this race. It's very very annoying, but you have to deal with it. Just 10 laps remaining. I can drive with that for another 10 laps, no problem. Coming into the pits, new fresh tires and another front wing as well. It's going to cost me a little bit of time, 5.5 seconds. And rejoining the track then for the last 10 laps. this 100% Silverstone race. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far. Let me know if you have enjoyed the video by leaving a comment in the comment section. And if you have enjoyed the video, you could also give a like, so that would encourage me to make more. Because well, I'm not going to drive 100% race distances or upload 100% race distances on this channel when nobody enjoys it. I think you guys can understand that. So maybe another subject then, my experience with 100% race distance races. I do have quite a bit of experience with 100% race distances. I basically, in every Formula 1, so Formula 2011, 2010, 2012 and 2013, I have done a complete career, well, one season at least, with 100% race distance races. I have done a career as well with this game 2013. I have finished that one already in the Caterham. Didn't upload that on my channel, but that was also 100% race distance. So I have some experience with it. Also, I have driven with the 100% league of ARL, split of ARL, that's it. Remember ARL, Apex Racing League? I raced with them, and you had like these splits with yeah, lots of good people who were doing 100% race distance every Saturday, but unfortunately that was cancelled somehow. I don't think it got enough attention. I don't think that a lot of people are interested in doing 100% race distances, unfortunately, because they can be quite fun. It obviously is pretty long, but it's definitely fun, and it's worth it, I think. Doing a 132.2, so on these intermediate tires I'm almost as fast currently as on my, let's take a lot of grip there, on my dry prime tires, which is a little bit crazy if you ask me. In my opinion, that shouldn't be possible, but it is in this game. Maybe I can improve it. I should have to push though if I want to improve that, as I do indeed purple on these tires while it's raining. So apparently they still have a lot of grip, as there's a car in front of me. We should lap him. 6 laps to go. That is Vettel. That is Vettel. So I lapped the entire field in lap 46 of this race, and that's good news, I guess. That's good for the statistics, I guess. 28 seconds is the gap between Vettel and Felipe, which is quite large. Can we do another good lap? Does look like it. We are still purple, only by 5/100ths though, but we are purple nonetheless. Who is that in front of me? I don't know. Coming up to the final couple of corners, making a bit of a mistake here. Still looks pretty solid though, pretty good. Getting early on the throttle. Is it going to be a faster lap? Yes, it is. Fast lap of the race, 132.121. And that is with intermediate tires, so very good pace. You might notice as well, the clouds are getting a bit brighter. So that's quite interesting. 5 laps to go. Clouds are getting lighter. Are we going to finish the race in dry conditions? Not sure. We will see. Lap 49. And as you can see, I think there are few raindrops, but definitely it doesn't seem to be raining that hard, as you can see in the pits as well. There are quite a few cars into the pits, and I think they are switching for dry tires, so this is interesting. 2 laps to go. I don't think it is worth pitting. I'm doing 34s as well, so the lap time is dropping significantly, like, you know, about 2 seconds. Let's see. The grip levels are still looking quite good, but the clouds are looking like dry conditions. The track is still a little bit wet. The surface of the track is a bit wet. As you can see here, I'm going to the left as well a little bit, just to cool these tires off. 2 laps remaining. Well, 3 actually, but you know, yeah, I think you get what I mean. As indeed here there is quite a bit of understeer. And we have a lead of 1 minute 50 seconds to Vettel. Let's see, Cops corner. No, have to shift down to 6th gear. so it's definitely a bit worse than it was before. But I don't think it's really drying up that hard. Not enough to give me big trouble probably in the end of this race. I also have to do a bit of fuel saving, but I think we should be good on that if I go to mix one a few times every lap. Obviously the pace is dropping, but it's not really that bad. I don't think it is worth pitting. Bit deep in here. This seemed to be the driest part of the track at the moment though, along with the first sector. Second sector isn't that bad, I think. Oh, got a horrible line through there. First of all, I was a bit too much on the right side of the track, maybe lost a little bit of my concentration. And then as well, understeer, sorry, not oversteer, understeer. As indeed here, lots of understeer. Interesting. You know, it might be quite bad coming into the next lap, but we'll see. Indeed, lost 2 seconds in that first sector. Taking a different line, trying to stay off the apex a little bit, because I know that probably on the outside it will be a little bit cooler, you know, the track will be a bit cooler. So trying to cool off these tires a bit, where I can. Taking it careful then. Engineer's telling me as well that they are quite hot, but doesn't look like big problems for me though, with just 1.5 lap to go. Bit of sliding through there. And I don't know on what tires the people are in front of me, but the 2 people in front of me seem to be battling though, quite a bit. And it slows them down. It is bottom. Let's have a look on which tires. Intermediate tires, and oh, he blocks me a bit there. He goes into the pits. Dry tires for him. Oh, lock my tires instantly here. Got into the gravel, giving a lot of throttle though, so I can get as quickly out of it as I can. And here comes the Force India behind me. That is Sudil, leaving him room so he can get past me. And now another stupid thing about the AI. When they pass you, they go on the brakes straight away in order to get you, in order to let you pass again. So still on -1 fuel, so that means I should be on mix 1 for this lap until I am back to optimal. And very slowly here indeed, so quite interesting though this final lap. I think all the cars are behind me. There's my teammate, there's a Toro Rosso, and there's a Force India. I think they are on the dry tires, at least that's what it looks like. Shifting down very carefully. And here comes Rosberg behind me. Having a look on my inside, I'm letting him through, but he doesn't want to overtake me, because every time they do overtake me they get back on the brake again, so it's not good. Still on -1. It's a bit weird. Probably used a little bit more fuel than I thought. And the track is definitely dry now, and I am still on these intermediate tires. Obviously they are overheating right now, like hell. Bit of power steering as well, bit of sideway action. But we are almost, we're almost finished. Still -1. Whoa, the fuel is not moving to optimal, definitely not. Oh, bit of sliding here as well. Can correct it though, no problems. So final couple of corners for the race then, going very deep here. This is indeed completely dry. I am in trouble with these intertires. Also the fuel is running out now as well. And there's a bit of chaos behind me. I'm just sticking to the outside a little bit so these guys can have a little bit of room and they won't crash into my back, which worked out pretty well. So that's my 100% race distance race then. Let me know if you guys have enjoyed it. Here we are then, driving as Lewis Hamilton in the first position. Bit of a hectic end, but there we go. Finished the race and I lapped everyone, and it was quite boring though, isn't it? I mean, I lapped everyone and every car until P5 I have lapped them by 2 laps, so that's it's a shame for them, bit embarrassing for them, but obviously it is AI, so I presume they have no feelings. But yeah, that's my opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. Thanks guys for watching once again. I hope you have enjoyed it. See you next time. Goodbye.